What are we talking about today? Yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the What Are We Talking About podcast. I'm your host, Cody, and this with me is my good buddy Steve, back on it again. How's it going today, Steve?
Not too bad. Yourself?
It is a fine day for all. It is a national holiday in some places. It's actually National Pancake Day.
Yeah, I truly can't complain.
Yeah, I don't know if it's actually National Pancake Day, but it is a day.
No matter what, it's 420 somewhere.
It is 420 everywhere. Well, I don't know if it's 420 in Australia still, but
well, they celebrate it too.
I don't even know if that time zone is accurate, because I kind of just thought of southern and northern hemisphere, and that really has nothing to do with time zones. So, anyways, it's the podcast, and we're going to be talking. First thing that I wanted to mention is it's a little bit old news, not super old. It came out, I think within a week from
a week ago.
ACDC's new frontman.
Oh, God. Save us. Help us. Don't hurt us.
So, as probably some, if not all of you would know, ACDC has not only had one frontman. Like, when they originally started, Bon Scott was their lead singer, and he died, I believe, from, was it drug overdose or what?
Alcohol
or was
poisoning.
It? Yeah,
Drank
which is a
himself
form
to
of drug overdose,
Yeah.
right? But still, yeah, alcohol poisoning.
Part of lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly. It's the lifestyle that killed him. And so that was a tragic loss. He was an incredible singer. And usually when a band loses a lead singer, they never get back into the limelight. They maybe will stay stagnant playing their old hits again, and they won't never
find somebody to replace them.
Well, yeah,
to that equivalent.
Exactly. And so it's never usually quite the same. But pulled it off. ACDC pulled it off, and they got Brian Johnson, right? That's his name.
Brian.
And he's
well.
different, but he fits, right?
He fits the category, and not even that. A lot of women can't tell the two apart. If you listen to, veteran musicians and veteran listeners, oh, that's old AC/DC, that's modern AC/DC, you can tell them apart right away. But a lot of women, oh, that's AC/DC, whether it was Bon Scott
I don't know,
or
probably
Brian
a lot
Johnson.
of men too. Like, not everybody listens to AC/DC, right?
Very true. And a lot of them
most people
know
wouldn't
the
be able to.
difference.
Yeah, that's why I said probably not everybody knows.
Yeah.
But most of you would probably know.
But just, Bon Scott was able to hit the higher highs. And
He was, I think, a better singer. But the songs that came out under Brian Johnson, it felt a lot more almost just like rock and roll for rock and roll's sake.
Like we're back. Either accept us or reject us.
And I like both segments of the career of AC/DC, and I think that it should be a 2-chapter book.
I just don't agree, like you say, that they should continue on. To me, it's almost like Angus doesn't want to let go.
Here's the thing. I don't have a problem
they have nothing to prove.
I don't have a problem with them doing one last tour or finishing out the tour like that. If they're just trying to find somebody to finish out this tour that they already had sold tickets to or whatever, that's fine. But what I just don't really like the fit. It's a really bad fit. Axl Rose does not fit with. I don't know if we have said this yet, but that's who they're getting to replace the
lead singer.
Brian Johnson is now, because he has something wrong with his voice or something.
No, hearing loss.
Okay.
It's his doctors coming to him and either telling him you either quit while you're ahead with stadium shows, or else you risk full hearing loss. And is that your ultimate goal, or do you want to at least write another record, sit in studio, and here, guys, this is what we did.
So he can still be writing the songs with AC/DC.
He just can't be anymore.
And will he perform? And the album versions of the songs will be Brian Johnson?
Oh yeah, he could technically go into studio. He has
because that makes me a little happier. If it just sucks, you'll never be able to see AC/DC live with Brian Johnson again. But that's a little bit more where it's like, okay, that's fine. As long as we can still get the feel and the love and the music. So as long as Axl Rose isn't writing anything for fucking AC/DC, it makes me a lot. And as long as Brian Johnson is still in that.
My argument is they have nothing to prove. Like, really, if they had to cancel the tour tomorrow because, Malcolm isn't there no more. Their drummer's doing pretty rough. Angus, he ain't getting any younger. Brian's in rough shape now. It comes to a point where give up while you're ahead. You have nothing to prove. If
It's
you
true.
played for
They've
40
been
years, 50 years, come on, guys. Like,
AC,
man,
and that's the thing.
what
They've
are you
been
expecting
consistent.
from us to hurt you?
I don't
Come
think
on.
I've ever heard a bad ACDC album.
No.
There's
And-
songs where it's like this is just ACDC, but saying this is just ACDC is like
What do you
that's
expect?
yeah, like that's that's a high compliment to say something's as good as ACDC.
Not even that.
They're a classic rock group.
Every band has their niche, right? So to say, oh, I don't want ACDC to sound like ACDC, well, I sure as hell hope they sound like
That's
ACDC.
the thing, yeah.
They
I
have their niche.
I
right?
like it sometimes when bands experiment a little bit and try new things, but I
Well,
hate it when
go
they
out
just
of the
change
box,
their whole
but-
style all of a sudden and now it's something else. Like
We're blues
I like
classical-
the album where Korn did an album featuring some of their songs were featuring like Skrillex or something like that.
Oh, really?
Some of the dubstep, and it actually fit really well with it. Where but it wasn't even on every song.
No.
So it's like, and it's fine to do that for one album, but they put out another album, I believe, since then that is back to their just regular style again. So it's like, they didn't really change their style altogether. They just kind of almost had another artist featuring that
Just
added
step
to
out
it
of
and helped it even. It
stepped out of
was
their
like a
element
melding
and
that
kinda-
fit perfectly. Yeah. Whereas sometimes you'll have an artist that just like all of a sudden completely changes their genre. Like I can't think of any examples right now, but
one artist that I like that does that is honestly Walk Off the Earth. They're able to jump around.
yeah, but that's
like,
they've never had just a specific genre. They
But that's what I
always
like
are
about them.
hopping around.
That's
yeah,
what I like about it. It's not like, we're stuck to this. We've only done rock. We're only writing classical. No, we can take elements of everything, shove it all in one song.
But yeah, but if a band starts with a certain sound, if
That's
they all
what
of a
you
sudden
expect.
change drastically, it's jarring and you don't like it as much. Like that's why Saint Anger is not as well received as some of the other Metallica albums because it's very different.
Well, but then again, you get into like these other pop artists now, which I don't even classify country anymore, which is like Taylor Swift, right? That just hop around,
I don't,
right?
yeah.
So, what the
Is
hell?
she considered country? I don't know.
I don't know. She
That's
was
how she
at
got
one
started.
time.
Yeah.
Like I said, that like genre hop.
Her dad, I think, wanted her to be a country star. He bought like 10,000 albums.
Oh,
I don't know if that's true or not.
I think
But
so.
that's a rumor that I've heard where it's like,
Well, her dad was rich, so
yeah, like there was a lot of money involved as to how she initially got famous. I don't like she's a fine, serviceable singer, but I believe that there probably is a lot of whether it be you have to have either money or
You have 10 friends that tell 10 friends that tell 10 friends.
you have to know somebody to. In a lot of cases, like if somebody just comes out of nowhere and all of a sudden there's just a new star, like it's rare that they just discover somebody walking down the street and they're like, wow, that guy can sing, now you're gonna be a star. No, usually it's because
They've worked
they're-
from the bottom up.
yeah,
Like Amy Winehouse.
or their dad like owns a lot of
yeah,
important shit or whatever. Like
The Donald
there's
Trump
always
of the
usually a
world.
reason. Like it's not usually very often just random. It's rare that you would find that somebody just randomly becomes famous.
Unless you are that.
Unless
good
it's a
and you
YouTube
are,
viral sensation that happens for
like I said, somebody
week and a
tells
half and then
two
it's done.
friends. Yeah.
But, yeah, no, overall, like, here's the thing, where I'm sitting now. Now that I learned that information about he just no longer is going to be doing stadium shit. I thought
At
it was
least
something.
for
I
now.
thought it was something with his voice, not his
for
hearing.
For now, it's his hearing.
So-
because, yeah.
For me, where I sit is because I already had the news, and what I had in my mind was that no more Brian Johnson. Now Axl Rose is taking over his spot, and
And for now,
that made me not happy. But now that you say that he might be still doing some stuff in the studio,
It's still
that
talking
makes
with
me.
doctors. It's
Yeah,
the doctors
that
say
makes
yay or
if
nay.
that is the case, if that happens, I'll probably be more likely to listen to their new albums and stuff like that. But if it's Axl Rose on the albums,
On
I don't
the
even want to
tour,
listen
yeah.
to it either.
Axl Rose.
I'm not
touring,
gonna see him. I don't care to see Axl Rose singing ACDC songs live in concert.
I don't care to see Axl Rose singing Axl Rose's songs live
No.
in person.
Exactly.
So-
Like the only reason why I would go to a Guns N' Roses show is to see Slash.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, to get that experience, to see somebody that like it's like seeing Black Label Society. I've had to see him like 4 times just for the sake of seeing Zach Wilde
yeah.
play.
That's the thing. But I don't know. So overall, I think that it's a bad choice. I think that they probably could have picked. I think they could have picked like if they if they were like, okay, we're just gonna finish this tour and then we're gonna be done touring because now our singer is out.
Over.
We just need to, yeah, that's the thing. Maybe they'll release a different like real artsy album way down the road kind of a thing, like Johnny Cash did late in his life, right?
Or our unreleased Cryptic Vault or something.
Yeah.
Some of our unreleased material.
But they're like, we're finishing this tour and that's it. But what they should have done was almost either
just called it quits.
Found somebody. They should have like got the guy from Airborne. I don't know who it is, but he sounds a lot more like the sound of ACDC.
I have one stance for that though. You really think, and we're talking from a band perspective now, of you're a band of 5 or however many musicians, and you've been together since, 10 years or however long Airborne's been together, and they've made it now. They're a band, and you have all of a sudden this opportunity. How much of a stab in the back do you think that'd be? Oh, I'm with Airborne, but ACDC called me on Tuesday, so I'm off on the road. Bye. That's kind of a shot and a hit in the arm and a stab to your bandmates that you've been with forever. So in a sense, I kind of stand with why he, even if he was asked, may have turned it down, or I don't even know if he was asked, but I'm just saying, I'm with my band, and you asked me, granted it's ACDC, it's an honor and a privilege, however, you gotta stand with your band. It's either you're together as a group, or your band now has the right to ridicule you.
Yeah, but
you're just up on a whim because the ACDC called you.
No, that's the thing. I'm not saying you just do it, but what you... But if I was the lead singer of Airborne and ACDC was like, we want you to, and I would go to my band and say, this is what happened. ACDC has said this. What should I do? Because I don't want to ditch you guys or whatever, right?
I totally agree. Like, if it was brought to the table, at least bring it to your band to discuss.
And then if they say, this is an opportunity of a lifetime, and plus this could help us become more famous as a band.
I disagree, because Airborne, really, if you were that good of a group, you'd be writing more material that stands out like AC/DC does. Every album that they write out, every song is different, but yet similar.
But people, still, I'm just saying,
if
the way that it works is,
like
if he does good enough in concert, it'll make it so that more people will
want to hear Airborne.
They'll just listen to it. I'm not saying that it'll get more return listeners. I'm just saying it'll get more initial, at least one-time listeners.
Oh, yeah.
In the same way that if somebody remakes a movie, and when people find out that it's a remake, there is a certain percentage of people that will go back and watch the original that would have never watched it in the first place. So it's like,
realize,
right? So it's that same kind of a thing.
But no matter what, the way I feel as you're an artist, you're with your group of musicians or whatever you choose to do as side projects or this and that.
Yeah.
But to have ACD, it's an honor and a privilege, don't get me wrong, but to have that, it would almost be like stabbed in the back. We've been a group for 10 years, made it as an artist that sounds similar, and then AC/DC calls us up out of the blue. Oh, we can't tour no more. We can't put everything on hold because our singer just disappeared because on a whim.
Yeah, but in a way, like what if, I don't know, you were in a band and whatever your favorite band was like, our guitarist can't, like there's something wrong. He broke his finger, so now he can't play guitar. We need you to fill in. Would you not want to do that? Or would you be like, nope, with my band, no chance in hell? Or would you like go and talk to your band and be like, you guys, they asked if I could play with them, so it's like, I want to do it, guys. Is that alright? Like, you wouldn't just throw it away and be like, there's no way I'm doing that just because I'm already with a different band.
It depends on if it's our rival competition.
Well, that's the thing. I'm just saying, if it was like, I feel like the way that Airborne sounds, they love AC/DC.
Oh, absolutely. But the way I see it as a band perspective, we love AC/DC enough to not want to disrespect our AC/DC fans. There's a huge fan base that is expecting this level of quality every time you go to a show. When I can guarantee I can do this.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just gave him as an example. It could be anybody.
Oh yeah, that's why.
I'm not saying that he's the perfect one. I'm just saying he's better than Axl Rose.
Oh, it's better than Goofus any day.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, as far as a band perspective, unless
because I don't want him to reply. I think that AC/DC should either be done right now or just find somebody that fits with them to finish this tour and then be done, because they already promised people to play this tour. So,
but the name of the tour literally couldn't have got any better. You literally couldn't have got any better than Rock or Bust. Unfortunately, they rocked as hard as they could. They put Malcolm in the fucking retirement castle.
Well, there you go.
The drummer's in problems.
That's what I said.
The singers got fucking hearing issues.
They can be done.
Angus, I hate to break it
They've
to
had
you,
an
you're
awesome run.
60-something, and you're not getting younger. Drive your Ferraris, enjoy, shut the fuck up, and just live.
You never have to wear that schoolboy outfit again.
You could go on stage naked and fucking rent the hall because nobody's gonna show up. Oh wait, it's Angus. Of course people are gonna show up.
Anyone, like, yeah, I would go see
I'd
Angus
go
Young
just for a
playing,
meet and
even
greet.
if it was like
Meet and greet.
Angus Young playing guitar on stage.
Fuck it. It doesn't even
But
have to be that. It
Just
could
wait,
be-
listen, Steve.
it
Here's
could
the
be
thing.
Angus Young
What
coming to
if somebody was
Calgary
like,
for
here, $20 and
consultation?
you get to go see Angus Young playing guitar live on stage?
15-minute interval. That's all you get.
No, but he's naked. What'd you do? What'd you do?
He's got the guitar on, so yeah, why not?
There you go. It's still Angus Young. It's like, just don't look at his dick. Like,
Just look the other way.
yeah, it's a pretty easy answer.
Close the eyes.
But
Yeah. Like I said, they have nothing to prove, so they've rocked hard enough.
exactly, they
Unfortunately,
can be
their
done.
tour has busted. Why do you need to continue? It's not money. Are you in financial ruins, ACDC? Like, what's going down that we're unaware of? Maybe, I guess, he just can't let go because his brother's in, peril. He doesn't want to face the fact that, God damn it, on Tuesday I gotta go see him and he doesn't know who I am.
Yeah.
Maybe this is what's keeping him going. But, man, start up a new band. Angus Young and Project and Sons. I don't fucking care. Just not ACDC.
Well, yeah, if you still want to rock, keep on rocking. But don't try and carry on the ACDC with something that doesn't fit. That's
You've
my
replaced
biggest issue.
every
It's like,
member now.
I'm fine with...
Other than you've replaced every single member now.
And in a way, yeah, now he's becoming Axl Rose, so he's the perfect person to get in the band, because that's what Axl Rose did with Guns N' Roses.
Okay, I'm sitting here with none of my friends.
I understand it all now. That was just an epiphany, you guys. That's what an epiphany looks like, where you just have a sudden, epic realization that the entire thing,
Comes crashing in.
everyone's just insane, is the real answer. But I don't know. Is there anything else you have to say on that subject? I'm pretty
I
much
think that-
ACDC, Axel
Asshole
DC.
Rose.
What's it called? Axel DC? Is that what they're gonna call it?
Goofus. I don't know.
AC G and A and R.
ARCDC. Fucking torture me.
Axel CD Rose. I'm coming up with gold, guys. Just take it. You can pay me, but there you go. Yeah, call me Axel. I come up with great names for these amalgamations. Axel ACDC Roses. There you go. But okay, a little bit somber of news, but it's about in Britain. They're talking about their basically may soon. So recently. In the past, and for a long time, there has been
Freedom of speech.
law in Canada against certain freedom of speech in terms of scientists, where the government had a say.
Thanks, Harper.
And yeah, they were not allowed to just show their findings. Like, they couldn't just post their findings on the internet or whatever they wanted. They would have to go
medium.
Yeah. Excuse me. And so the government got to decide what was shown. And I'm not throwing accusation and saying they made it so that they could only show certain things, but I'm sure that's probably what happened.
Oh, I'm sure there was some skewed, documents within that.
I guess apparently in England, Britain, I'm not sure entirely. I'm not a geography major, but the UK, Britain, England, whatever it's called,
Over across the pond.
so it says that this law or a similar law will soon be put into effect. Because recently Justin Trudeau
Unmuzzled.
and here's the thing. He didn't even, like, it.
Just a law.
People didn't know that this was a law because the scientists were not allowed to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So if you're not allowed to talk about the law, how could people know that it even exists?
And not only that, they're only allowed to talk about certain aspects of their findings, or even at that, you're not allowed to talk about your findings at all because it came out skewed to what we thought it should come out. So just omit it. Period.
Exactly.
So a lot of skewed, I guess, just documents, and
And it's really tragic because that's one thing that we need to be able to have is intelligent people on that brink of discovery being able to share that with the world. That's what we need to work towards, is having, like, that's what the internet is about, is instant communication with anyone, anywhere in the world, right?
At any time, at
Exactly.
any moment, at 24 hours a day. It's not limited to, any, Monday to Friday, weekends off. No, if I want to interact with somebody in Zimbabwe because he's on YouTube, he can post a video.
Yeah,
vice
exactly.
versa.
You can go on Facebook and message him or whatever it is, Twitter, anything.
Anything. Anybody that has an account or a smartphone has access to the internet.
And if somebody who is incredibly intelligent and is making these discoveries, but the government says, like, oh, no, we want, like, and this is just an example, and I'm not saying that it happened. Say the government says, we, for some reason, want oil to still be heavily used, and so we want you to lie and say climate change isn't a real thing, or make it so that you don't post the findings that shows the incline of carbon dioxide since the technological age started, and the increase in
just skew the findings.
Temperature that's been correlated with direct level. Like, if they say don't show that stuff because it means we, I don't know. I'm not saying that that's what's happening, but it seems like it's just a bad thing to happen where they just block the freedom of speech and the freedom of discovery.
To me, in the society that we live in, where we have instant communication, instant money transfer in a sense, like really where it can be done, we have like really the muzzling now of scientists in Britain, the unmuzzling of scientists here in Canada. Why don't we have freedom of speech to actually...
Well, here's the thing. The world needs to have all this stuff because...
Like, we're becoming a communist state.
The world is slowly working towards becoming almost a monoculture amongst the entire world, where that's what the internet is. It's a monoculture, where everyone from the world is in this same culture, where there's a language that's similar, which whether it be like English with... I don't know what the language of the internet is.
There's multiple computer codes.
Well, I don't mean that. I just mean the language that's most used on the internet.
English. Right?
That's what I thought, but I don't know.
But even at that, just because...
But you can just get translators and shit anyway, so it doesn't matter. But not only that, so there's universal communication. There is universal culture in terms of like clothing styles and entertainment and that kind of stuff. Like
information.
Everyone in the world watched Star Wars Episode 7, right? Except for China.
Yeah, or at least has access to whether you watch it or
exactly.
not.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people did. It made fucking like almost $2 billion.
Yeah.
Or even, I think it made more than $2 billion.
I don't know.
It almost made as much as Titanic. Like, it made a lot of money. It's unreal. But that's the thing. It's a, 30-year-old franchise that has...
It will never die.
Yeah, like, it has multi-generational...
You're getting into 007.
It's the Kiss of movies. No, I'm just joking. But, Kiss will never die. Gene Simmons made a deal with Satan, and he will literally never die. And Satan's like, if you ever stop making money, you die. And that's why he constantly just keeps making money.
I think you're talking about Keith Richards, too.
Oh, no, he's just British.
Or he made a deal as, I am the Grim Reaper. I just...
Haven't you seen, what's it called? Get Him to the Greek? British people don't die. Like, British rockers... The motherfuckers don't die.
Hey, somehow he's managed to do the right amount of drugs to just keep your...
He's the Mr. Burns of rock and rollers, where it's like, all of this shit is squished in here at once, and it's
indestructible.
Yeah.
No, it's like Gus will knock you off. Indestructible.
Yeah, man. But one thing that I've noticed, and here's the thing, I didn't know that this was a law in Canada until I found out about this happening in England.
Oh, the muzzling of scientists?
Yeah.
Well, Harper's been doing a lot of it.
But the thing is, after I found out about this, it makes more sense because recently there's been a few discoveries that have happened by Canadian scientists that I've heard of, and it's like, wow, Canadian scientists have been in the news a little bit more lately. And that has been since Justin Trudeau has gotten into power, and it's like now it all makes sense as to what's been going on. And it's frankly a little bit scary, where it's like some of the most important information that we could be having could be getting blocked by somebody for their own nefarious purposes because they have the power.
Because they don't like this. Or prime example was Harper's war on drugs. As long as I was in power, you are not going to see the day. I will not even touch the subject. Well, you see how fast he was ousted. So.
And the craziest thing to me about, which this is a good segue into our next subject, weed will now be legal in Canada. Speaking of
Spring
420, perfect time.
2017.
Yeah, spring 2017, weed is going. The legislation will be passed, or well, at least
Introduced into
Introduced, yeah.
legislation, yeah.
And so, yeah, like that's the thing. I don't understand why alcohol has been legal and cigarettes have been legal, and all like there's things that are legal that you can do that are way worse for you than marijuana.
Cody,
And, like I know why,
You
but
just
it's
answered
like
the question, because it's way worse for you. Of course we're gonna funnel it. We can kill the fuckers out.
well, that's the thing. It don't make sense. Why would you want to kill your own citizens? It's like
we have a meaningful
we have a limited
way-
supply of these guys. But here's the thing: let's pump it into this section of the country so that they all
We're
die. And
dependent.
these guys, the guys that vote for us, we'll tell them not to smoke. Like I don't know. Is that how it works?
I don't know. Everybody, has their kind of vice, whether it be, I love muffins or just whatever their case may be, and fast food or this or that. Everybody has something that, I like,
Yes,
eating healthy.
everybody
or
has their McDonald's.
going to the gym, just whatever their vice may be. It's still,
It's still all McDonald's.
yeah, technically.
I think Jim Gaffigan does a great stand-up routine where he says, even if you don't go to McDonald's, you have something in your life that is McDonald's. Where it's like, maybe you read People magazine. That's McDonald's.
But like I say, with the marijuana debate, it's interesting because everybody has their vice. That's why alcohol has been, it's a depressant. That's why it's been legal for quite a while. Prohibition only lasted so long. Even U.S. prohibition, they spiked alcohol with poison and killed people, right? This bad. If you're unlucky enough and drank that alcohol, you're gonna die. So in that sense, they were killing during prohibition.
Yeah, but is it
their own people
yeah.
just to spite them, and you can't drink. So in a sense, it's good that prohibition ended for alcohol, because why can't you have a choice? And same with the marijuana. It's been illegal for far too long, and the original reason technically was due to the paper industry.
Yeah.
If we want to get
Big money.
technical, big money, pharmaceutical, and the paper industry. Because DuPont said, well, I have all these paper mills, but it would be much more expensive to switch over to hemp. Other than that, that was the only reason. Well, let's write in some legislation.
Well, it would be more expensive for him because he doesn't want to have.
Bingo.
He just has paper mills that are regular, and he's like,
to switch over to hemp.
well, I'm going to lose money if they make it so that people can create paper out of hemp because I'm not set up for that.
And not only that, heaven forbid, everybody can grow a crop a year or 2 crops a year, pending, right? Because it depends on how you
You can
grow
grow
it.
year round if you do it in your basement.
Yeah, like this all depends on that. And it supplies paper, all your textiles, other industries, your clothing. Oh, heaven forbid people knew it was a medicine, other alternatives, a food group. It's quite healthy for you, too. They forgot to mention that. So the whole sense of being lied to right off the prohibition cuff, of it kills people, you rape people because the black person had it back in the 30s. Enough for the prohibition. It's failed. It lied to us. People can see it now. People were gullible back then, but they didn't know.
Plus, the thing is, all those reasons why it was made illegal are the reasons why it should be legal.
Legalized now.
And
because
utilized.
Look at the planet we live on. Look at the society it's caused because of this.
Well, not only
war on
that, but
drugs that has obviously failed.
we need, like, it's a miracle in that, not, like, it in a way, it can, like, replace a lot of things. It can replace the need for cutting down forests. It can replace the need for...
They can totally eliminate, yeah. They can totally...
Yeah, like, it can change the game in terms
right?
of,
You can't have
plastics, everything. Like,
plastics.
you don't need to use oil. It could basically eliminate
you can
oil.
run biodiesels off of hemp, so
Yeah.
you get your fuels off of that all of a sudden.
Well, that and the electric car.
Well, that'll be a major implication.
Because the
with
Tesla, oh my god.
Fuck. I want one so bad.
Me as well, dude. I feel like I'm going to, as soon as I can, as soon as I can afford it, I'm getting myself, and I'm going to
I
if
can't
I can
wait to go, like, when they're in
pre-order
the lot.
and get myself a Tesla Model 3, because I feel like if I pre-order it, then I'll,
At
like,
least
it's
you're on
probably
the
a
list.
first come, first serve in terms of being on the list, right?
Well, first of all, everybody that ordered a Tesla and that has one today obviously gets first dibs because you've been with us. You paid how many grand for your car. Damn right you get first dibs. And there's only how many thousand a year? You can pump up 500,000 trucks. You can get first dibs. Even at that, say
But they would have also been the first ones to pre-order anyway.
Oh, yeah. But even at that, so a list of 35 or 500,000 people,
No, I think
That's
they were at
like
225 or 250 or something like that.
Is that what they're at for pre-orders now? But even at that, of that small percentage of say 30,000 Tesla owners or 50,000 Tesla owners,
Yeah.
even 100,000, it's still a spit in the bucket.
That's like 1 year.
Yeah.
I think they said that their amount of output will be that they're set up for right now is 100,000 a year.
No, I think for their Tesla 3 is 500,000.
No, I'm pretty sure that that's what they said because they weren't expecting this many pre-orders.
Well,
And so
Tesla, get ready.
So that's the thing. They're not set up for how many pre-orders that they have, and so basically,
They better set
even if you pre-order right now, if the first people get their Teslas in 2018, you won't get yours until at least 2020.
2020, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like because they can only make so many. But if they add more factories and stuff, then they can do more. That's why they even had to outsource the digital pads or like the touchscreen to LG. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because
they can't keep up.
But it's awesome because in that sense,
you're
expecting, we're gonna sell this many, and boom.
Did you see that video the other day? A self-driving car, dude was driving in a self-driving Tesla, like autopilot, and
avoided that truck cutting him off.
Yeah,
and almost collided.
It almost killed him.
Well, yeah, if the car didn't pull over.
Yeah. And he didn't notice the truck.
Well, no, he wouldn't have.
Yeah. Like, you could barely see it. Like, if you
look from behind him and at that, cut him off right into his lane, and then... Yeah, so the car had to know to slow down, pull over kind of thing, go slower, and watch the truck either would have hit him, or,
Yeah, no, so that's the thing. I think that it's an incredibly good tech... Like, the advancement in electrical cars and, like, all this different stuff that I mean, people don't like it. The whole green movement.
Well, look at the EV1 project back when, I guess that would have been Saturn Division actually had the electric car. They had the market 4 years in advance. Granted, it wasn't the greatest. It was only 50 miles, but 50 miles back in 2001, that's drastic.
Yeah, even if you could make it so every city driver, every car in the city was...
Yeah, or 80% because everybody's hopping on board. Like, I don't drive 50 miles in a day. I only drove 30. So that was a viable alternative. Now today with Tesla's 215-mile range, that's a viable alternative for myself.
I believe the X was like almost double that. It was like 390 or 420 or something like that.
I could see the Model 3 doing something like that too because like they even got 300.
No, it was because I don't remember. It was the reason why the Model E3 was much less is because of the affordability. Yeah.
But then again, as technology increases, and in say 5 years, as they're making the Model 3.5, because
Tesla's making great strides in battery technology.
Oh, they've killed. Well, look at the prime example is the iPhone. The original iPhone had a shitty battery life. They've come a long way, Apple, but they're still not there. Tesla, if they actually probably implemented their battery tech, you got a phone that runs a week. Here you go. Sorry, you can't kill it. The only way you can is by shutting it off.
He's literally, Elon Musk is essentially the Tony Stark of
today's technology.
Yeah, of the real world, where he is just creating all these new innovations and all that stuff. It's amazing. And
the one thing I like is he is technically Canadian, except for he had to leave Canada and abandon completely because, well, look at where we live, look at the conditions we live under. You are in an oil-producing nation. Yeah. You don't know of green technology, where he's like, well, I'm going to build this, we're going to do this. So
well, originally, didn't he invent PayPal? That's how he got rich?
Oh, yeah, he's done quite a few. He's done PayPal, he's done SpaceX, he's now done Tesla, he's done Solar City, which is your solar division.
Yeah.
He owns that, too.
Because he just makes something amazing, and then he's like, well, I've conquered this world, now I'll move on to the next amazing
thing. I've seen a problem, but I don't want to retire yet. I've got $300 million.
Pretty soon he's just going to be like, you know what? I've been looking a lot into carbon nanotubes. Let's build a space elevator.
Actually, his next project, I believe he's looking into, is called the Hyperloop. If you're aware.
Oh yeah. That's like it's a train in a vacuum with magnet. It's like basically the most efficient way to travel. Yeah. That would be awesome. Like, is it just in like prototypical phase or anything?
I think so. It's like in blueprints and then in small scale design phase and then eventually computer modeling to how big can we do this in real, because you don't want to go from 0 to acceleration of 1,000 miles an hour.
Well, plus the thing is you got to make sure your vacuum tube is incredibly like well maintained and everything
without any deer crossing.
Because if that thing if
Get some air credit.
Yeah, like the entire. I don't know what would happen. Like,
but yeah.
also,
even
the
if
train itself would have to be incredibly strong because it would have to be pressurized on the inside, right?
But like I said, but just even the G-forces of traveling from 0 to X amount of miles an hour, say even 780 or whatever, is a good comfortable speed to get at, to travel at a fast enough rate of speed.
Well, there's no G-forces if you're going at a high speed. It's only from acceleration.
That's right, but that acceleration is...
But if you just accelerate gradually, yeah.
That's fine. You slowly get there, 100, 200. That's
or
fine.
if they're like in the style of airplanes where it's like, please fasten your seatbelts for...
blast off.
While we like go up to our speed or whatever.
Terminal velocity, and then once we're there.
Once we reach, terminal velocity or whatever because terminal velocity is when you're falling in air.
Yeah.
But...
once you're blowing at such a
when
rate
we
of speed.
reach our maximum speed or traveling speed or whatever, when we reach cruising altitude,
1,200 miles an hour.
as you can see, the pilot has switched off the fasten seatbelt sign, so you're free to walk about the cabin, but please only do so if necessary.
If you look to the left of you, there went Red Deer.
If everybody looks to the right, the plane will tip over because it's actually a very small plane, so please don't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't even know how we got onto this topic.
Just Elon.
Oh yeah, Elon Musk.
Projects that he's working on.
Yeah, I mean...
He doesn't seem like the type to retire, even though he's a stressed-out individual.
He is... People doubt him, and then he proves them wrong, so...
And then shows them off.
I don't doubt him when he says he's going to be able to put people on Mars by the mid-2020s.
Hey, one thing I have questions about now is... as far as Apple's little Project Titan that they've been working on in secret.
What exactly is that? I don't know. I've never heard of it.
Okay, well, you know how Google's got the self-driving car and Tesla's got their own project that's quite successful now, as you can see. And then, Apple figured, we're always late to the party.
They figured out how to build a death ray, finally?
I don't know what they're planning, but I think they got some self-driving car. But just judging from the Model 3 that I really would go wait in line to go get it.
Yeah.
Versus, I won't go stand in GM's parking lot. Hell, I won't even go see him.
You're not going to go test drive the Chevy Bolt or whatever it's called?
The Bolt? Oh yeah, that minivan looking piece of crap.
We'll call it the Flash. That's a hot TV show right now, right?
Let's go with the Probe. Let's go back into the time of the Probe. You know, just the shitty.
I got an idea. Let's call it a Tesla. Maybe people will get confused.
But yeah, it'll be interesting because, like I said, their Project Titan is the self-driving car from via Apple. But now they got some big shoes to fill because Tesla's got a 215-mile range. You either step it up to Apple or you're going to fail.
But competition breeds greatness.
Yeah, because like I said, you're either going to step it up or fail. You're either now going to come up with a cool-looking car because I like that Tesla.
Oh yeah, even the Model 3, which is like the conservative
Oh yeah, their economy car. I like. Versus, like I said, if Apple comes over with a fucking bubble-looking bullshit or something,
it's going to look like an iPod or an iPad. Like it's just going to be white. Yeah, like there's going to be no windows, and it's just going to every window is just actually like a touch screen that you only can see from the inside.
Here's our bubble little fucking bullshit car.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, Steve Jobs isn't there anymore, so it might not be.
They have to step it up majorly.
It'll be called the Apple car. It won't be called the iCar.
I don't know.
Dude, they've changed it now because ever since Steve Jobs has died, they stopped calling things the i stuff.
Well, no, the iPhone.
Well, they still call, but that's just a series that they continue. Like
iMac.
It's just a series that continues. Whereas the Apple Watch,
it's not the iWatch.
It's not the iWatch. So like they've started. That's the only really new technology that's come out by them.
But then again, in a sense, it's not. It's a good advertisement that they call it the Apple Watch 2 because it's. You know, I watch. Well, what did you watch? I watch what? You know, oh no, it's the thing on my wrist. But
if you say
Apple Watch, you know, but
if you say I have a new iWatch, people aren't going to be like, you watch what? And you'd be like, were you even listening to what I just said? I said I have a new iWatch.
Like, I guess. Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I'm surprised. I was actually surprised that they called it the Apple Watch and that they seemed very specific and made sure that you knew it was the Apple Watch and not the iWatch. But maybe that's just me being, like, looking too much into it.
But, yeah, the Apple MacBook, you know, so in that sense, it's still Apple product. But, I don't know. In that sense, I don't know if they would do, like, the iCar, Apple Car, Mac Car, who the fuck knows.
Yeah, it'll probably be called the Apple a Jaguar. That's what it's going to be called, the Jaguar. Oh, wait, that's actually already a car. Shit.
The Apple we threw money at.
Mustang. No. Camaro. What is a Camaro? Oh, yeah, it's a wild animal that eats Mustangs, I believe.
Good name for it.
No, that's there was
That's what they call
the
it,
guy
yeah.
who invented the Camaro, or
'Cause-
created it, designed it. That's what he's
what is a
called.
Camaro? Oh, it's a wild animal.
Eats Mustangs for breakfast. But Mustangs are nice. I mean, depending on the year. I don't like the ones that look like they're trying to be a rice racer.
I don't like the 80s Mustangs.
Is that a bad thing to say? A rice racer? Probably. I should probably edit that out.
Leave it in.
Okay. I mean, I'll probably get hate mail, but whatever.
Hey,
It
we
happens.
got mail.
What I meant by that is, Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. What do you call those cars?
Oh, those, yeah.
Shit rod? No, I don't know.
Super
If it ain't got V8, it ain't nothing.
It's a 4-cylinder with a turbo.
Coming from the two guys who just spent 10 minutes talking about Teslas. No, I like all cars. Like, I'll drive a Nissan Skyline or whatever. I'll drive a Hyundai Tiburon. Is that? I don't even know where that comes from.
I will drive whatever you guys promote me to drive. Other than
If
that,
you pay me to drive it, I'll drive it for money.
I will promote it. I will enjoy it for the
Yeah.
promotion. But hey, and I'll enjoy telling you what I think of it while I drive it. But I will.
no.
Yeah, I'll take that Model 3.
I do. That's what I want. That's what my next car will be, a Tesla.
Yeah, it's gonna
Unless my car shits out, then I'll have to just buy something for an intermediate.
But
But
even if that, you put $1,000 down, you're driving your car for 2 more years. You keep doing oil changes, keeping up.
that's
with
what I'm
the
saying. If it
standards.
all of a sudden just shits out and
Yeah.
it's like, you need to buy a new transmission, I'll be like, I think I'll just buy a car off
You
Kijiji.
buy a $5,000 beater until you're 2000.
Oh, dude, 5,000 is
17.
very too much money to buy just a car to last for 2 years. You buy one for like
$700.
$300, $400, you're good.
I'm thinking 400.
No, I
per
like
year.
probably $1,000, $2,000.
Yeah.
Like my car that I bought it for $2,000 and it's lasted me like
Since
so
high
far
school.
5 or 6 years. No, not this
Well,
car.
not quite,
This
yeah.
is my second Sunfire, but the first one I treated like shit, and I was like, I jumped it and shit like that, where it's like
Yeah.
the transmission almost just fell off of the engine.
car.
Like, yeah, it's like, well, I took it to the shop one time, and the mechanic was like, "Do you take this thing off roading or something? Because the transmission is almost just like falling off." It's like, well, I
Nothing's
guess.
holding it in anymore.
How much will that cost to fix? A lot. Okay, I guess I'm not gonna fix it then. Like,
See, now with the new Tesla, you got with your all-wheel drive, either engine, like your little motor.
yeah,
lamp,
I'll say,
or your
Tesla, go
bearings.
drive on the off-road, and they'll be like, I'm sorry,
with pleasure,
we cannot drive off-road.
without raising
It'll
the
just be
suspension
Hal
first.
from or Hal 2000 or HAL 2000 or whatever it's called, from 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's just the evil AI. Maybe Apple's just gonna team with Tesla, and they're like, "You guys need an AI for your smart cars.
And that's
We
where
got
Tesla's
some.
like, nah, we got
We
something
got
to work
Siri
on."
right here. You can just be like, Siri, take me home," and they'll be like, "Bitch, please, you gotta drive."
Yeah, but that's where Tesla and Elon are sitting there again, because he's, the entrepreneur of the planet here. Sees 3 problems we don't even fucking think of beforehand and solved them already.
That's the greatest people is when they think of questions
we haven't even
that
thought
we
of
have
yet.
never even thought of. They have
Mhm.
answers to questions we've never even thought of and shit like that, where it's like, wow, that's amazing. But we're pretty close to the end here, and it's time for the final segment. It's called What have we been reading, watching, or playing? So, is there anything in your life, Stephen, that you've been whether it's a book that you've been reading, movies or TV that you've been watching, any new video games you've been playing, or anything that you would want to share?
Watching on YouTube, a lot of,
There you go, that's something.
mainly getting into Bitcoin is a lot of my main focus, and just
Learning about it. You did
Just-
share that one video with me that it's about an hour and 50 minutes, and it's just, what's the guy's name?
Andreas Antonopoulos.
And yeah, he was talking to the Canadian Senate, and they were basically just asking what his referrals and what his expertise would think that they should do in terms of regulations and stuff.
But even at that, I just like the diversification, because really, you put your eggs in one basket when you live in Canada or the U.S. or wherever you're from. and you use that currency. You have to solely use that currency. That's what the government stipulates and states. You trade between your friends. You do illicit trade. It's all between one currency. Where this gives now my option, if I use Bitcoin or whatever I so choose, it's between two parties, no intermediary. There's no bank.
Yeah, no, it kind of makes you into the bank.
So, yeah, I can be my own bank. I can lend to friends if I want. You know, it depends on what you want to do with it.
What's the YouTube channel?
Mainly, I follow just Andreas
Antonopoulos
on YouTube. It's himself.
So check that out. And yeah, like I watched a couple videos, like I said myself, and yeah, it is incredibly interesting stuff.
He is very knowledgeable. Like they call him the Bitcoin guru,
and not a bit. Like he specifically said. Notice at the start, I didn't say a Bitcoin guru. I said the Bitcoin guru, right?
Yeah, no, he's a computer programmer, hacker. Just he knows his stuff.
Yeah,
he's very intelligent. He lives off of it. So when they say, "Oh, you can't use it as real money," he's living proof. Well, I flew here on it.
Yeah,
I lived off of it.
I've been living off it for 3 years.
I pay my rent with it.
What do you call that?
So, in a sense, as long as if I can transact with my buddy here and he accepts it as a currency and I got a good or service or somehow a transaction between two people, it is money.
Yeah.
And that's what the people are going to realize.
And what was that? What was that other currency that they were talking about that already is another digital currency?
There's hundreds.
That one that it was in some African country or something like that?
Bitpisa.
And it was
cell phone minutes.
Yeah, it's basically cell phone minutes. And I love the way that how he talked about the first time that became currency. It wasn't a special moment. It was when somebody went to the grocery store and said...
Didn't have enough money
for eggs. And they were like, can I give you some cell phone minutes?
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden that's currency.
is born, and even at that, that's.
Can I just give you this bottle cap? Now that bottle cap is worth money.
Hey, if it was signed
that's actually how value really
traded.
needs to be, and is pretty much is where it's like
and
if the general agreed upon value of this cup is this certain amount, and you trade this other thing for this cup, that means that thing is also worth that same value, right?
But the cool thing is now that is now a cryptocurrency. That can be cup coin. Every time I go shopping and I want to buy specifically you can go buy dishwashers.
You just spend cups to buy things.
Well, no, that's cup coin.
See, I make these cups, so I pay you in cups.
I got 5 cup coins, so you owe me, and I went to Walmart 5 cups. Like that's what I mean. Like you can buy lawnmowers, whatever the hell you want to. That's what digital currency can all of a sudden become. It can be your high school tokens for your
Yeah, like
high school dance or
when you go to if you go to an arcade, which I don't know if there's very many anywhere, anyways. But if there is, they could do it where you have an app on your phone that you go to, and you buy tokens that are just a cryptocurrency, virtual currency, and you go up to the machine and you scan something on the phone, and now all of a sudden you pay and you can use the arcade game.
Yeah, you got 5 games on this one, 3 games over here. It's all. Or another
Pac-Man 3000.
Another one I could think that would be really cool. Say a service like plumber or electrician. Say you got electrician coin, and 1 coin was 1 hour's worth of service. So I don't give a shit. You got 400 hours, man. I'm in debt to you. 400 hours. That's what I mean.
1 hour worth of
but
service.
when you can do something like that into a cryptocurrency,
is that how plumbers work? They charge by you're just like.
Well, they charge by.
I can only pay you for 1 hour. Can you come over and fix my pipes for an hour? And it's like, sorry, I didn't get them fixed.
Or I only got 1/4 of a plumber coin, so that's 25 minutes, that's what I mean. Like
15 minutes.
Or 15, or however you want to do it. But that's what I mean is you can actually implement cryptocurrencies to become other things then. It's not just money, it becomes a service.
Not only that, you can register it's more than just money. Like you can register things on
your wedding.
Yeah. You could register births, deaths. Not only just that, but titles. Like you could
your land mortgage.
Transferring the deed to a house becomes way easier and all that kind of stuff.
How about better yet, you quit paying your rent. Your front door doesn't unlock for you anymore because your key's been traded to somebody else that's now paying that rent. He's in on the first. Mm-hmm. You have 3 days to get out. Don't get me wrong.
It's the technological age of money, and more than money. It's like you said, it's even more so of the Internet of Things.
I like, when a smart contract between entities, whether it be 2 cars or a fleet of cars that can now become a fleet of taxis or something because their driver that owned the business was their driver that set it all up, died one day. It just rolled around, but the taxis Monday to Friday they go charging, or Monday to Sunday, because it doesn't matter, right? They just go to the charging stations, charge up, they via Bitcoin charge their account, they unlock the door after being scanned. Oh, okay, this guy's paid his fare, goes wherever, we refund the money, whatever, you know, if he didn't use $20 or whatever he paid.
Which you just pay after.
Or yeah, you could do that too. Like, you know, it just depends on. But what I mean is, it allows that now the cars.
Because that's the thing nowadays with like Uber. It's just a thing where it's like. So what'll happen is, you get into the Uber and you say where you want to go, and they start their thing on their phone, and it detects how far they've traveled and how long it's taken, and so
how much you charge.
It's an automatic digital thing already, and now it can just use Bitcoin instead, right?
Yeah, now you do that with your fleet of cars that you.
But it's more so like it's better in terms of, say you wanted to use it for tipping at a restaurant.
Oh, geez.
You could just go to the waitress and say, "Let me see your wallet" or whatever, and you just put whatever you want directly in, and it's not.
Say you're following somebody on YouTube, and I really like this video, make more of it, so I'm going to donate $3 just to show you my appreciation. Versus every other donation I've given was fractions of, like, you know, 3 cents, $1, pennies, fractions of a penny.
They could even have it so that you could have it somewhere, I don't know where, even something on, like a postcard or a piece of paper on the, like, you know how they have sometimes like things that it's like drink menu and shit like that. You could have one that says, and on the bottom it shows like, this is the chef's wallet where you can put tips. This is, so it's like, if you especially love the food or
such and such that served you,
or yeah, exactly. So you can pick specifically who you want to tip, and you can do shit like that.
And the thing I like too is,
but it's also more transparent, but it's also more secure.
And the thing I like that it's bringing online too is, like I said, that micro tipping transaction to websites. So I don't want to. Because I'm, you know, I use Facebook or this or that, and I don't want to see any advertisements on my Facebook, or I want to see particular advertisements. I can pay to see such and such because I'm, you know, subscribed, so I pay to see science or this or that. You can actually start paying people that you're interested in viewing, or pay to eliminate ads altogether. It allows you to, granted, you're now paying to use the internet, but you pay to use everything. You pay for the internet.
You can just use ad blocker on Chrome.
Yeah, but what I mean is that actually this implements, it doesn't matter, straight across the internet. It eliminates the use. I don't want to see ads.
Ad blocker does.
Yeah, but even some of them get through. This is now
on the like, I'm not talking about, like, it's a literal thing where any ad, it's like a program in the web browser that makes it so that ads just do not show up, period.
Yeah, like I say, it'll be interesting to see where the technology
it's a really
goes.
interesting thing, and that's the thing. It's the very beginnings.
But like
as for me, I haven't been reading anything lately. I haven't audiobooked anything since the last audiobook. I watched the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt came out this last weekend. Have you seen, season 2? Have you seen any of that show? It's a Netflix exclusive series.
No, I haven't.
It's actually an incredibly funny show. The first season was awesome, and then the second season I think might have even been better than the first. Like, I love the show. It's hilarious. Ellie Kemper is the lead. And did you ever watch The Office?
Bits and pieces here and there sometimes. Yeah.
So, like, are you super familiar with it at all, or no?
Too.
Okay, well, she started out, at least that's the first time I ever saw her was on The Office, and now she's the main character, and it's about basically so this dude kidnapped these girls, and kept them underground, and told them that they were, like, he basically made, it was like a cult also, where he convinced them that the entire rest of the world was destroyed and they had to stay in this bunker kind of a thing, or something like that. And then the first episode, they like get out of the bunker, and now she has to reintegrate back into society, and she like moves to New York and it's just a straight up wacky comedy, and it's created by Tina Fey.
Nice.
And yeah, it's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious.
One thing I actually have been listening to lately is actually a group called USS.
Oh, yeah?
Have you ever heard of them?
I don't think so.
They're a pretty good rock group. I can't remember where they're based out of.
US, maybe?
No. No.
USSR?
I'm not sure if they're, like, Swedish or somewhere. But they're quite good. You might want to check them out. They're a rock group. They're different.
Yeah.
You know, they're not the typical what you're going to expect, right? So
yeah.
They actually got their own sound. They're different.
Yeah. I should check them out. Yeah, man. But I've been catching up on... I got to finish... I still haven't finished this season, this most recent season of Walking Dead. I have 2 episodes to go, and then Fear the Walking Dead apparently has started back up. I need to start watching that. Game of Thrones also starts up this Sunday, and I'm gonna start finish it. Like, I guess I should probably catch up, but I guess I can do that. I think Game of Thrones is Sunday, so I can watch the episodes that I haven't watched yet leading up to that on whatever Friday and Saturday. And it's supposed to rain this weekend anyway, so might as well be in watching TV.
Yeah, might as well enjoy it.
Yeah. So, like, we need rain.
Oh, badly.
It's been crazy dry and hot, so...
And here in Canada, we seem to get one or the other extreme. We either get really hot weather for 2 months of the year, or just shitty cold weather for 10 months of the year, so... We'll take the hot weather, but we need the rain.
Well, that's the problem. I love the hot weather as well, but we do need at least enough rain to sustain growth in terms of food production, and not only that, but just nice grass when you go outside, and even at that, the ability to not have to conserve all the water because there's no water anywhere.
And even at that, we don't need, like last year, the
Plus,
extremes
I like to have
where,
fires when I go camping.
When we get rain, for some reason it was like rain and shitty hail, or just...
Well,
some extremes
that's the thing.
Last year. We couldn't just have a rain day.
People might be getting tired of me saying this and other people saying this, but when I hear all that shit, when I see this crazy shit like that, all that pops into my head is global warming, climate change. We need to stop it and change it, because we're not going to destroy the world. We're going to kill all humans, because the world will be fine.
Oh, the world will still
gone through, like, 5 or 6 mass extinction events.
Oh, a couple asteroid hits, a couple of volcanoes.
Yeah. The world will be fine.
Sure,
humans will be what goes away. And so if people want to create a future that's sustainable for humanity, we need to kind of change the way that we're heading towards.
I think as a society, we got to quit being focused on he said, she said, racial slurring. It's over.
That's the thing. We need to stop. Everyone needs to stop feuding, and wars need to stop. Like, I mean, it seems like an unlikely thing that will ever happen, but that's what needs to happen in order for humanity to survive.
That's because the human race is inherently greedy. I have something you don't have, and I'm not willing to share it generally.
And it's an understandable thing, because that's how they've gotten this far in terms of evolution, right?
But even at that, we're not going further as a species. We're just
that's the thing. We need to make a conscious. Now that we are intelligent intelligent. We need to be able to make. Humans need to make a conscious decision to change how they think.
No matter what, if we have the oppression with religions being the way they are, I'm right, no, I'm right, no, I'm right,
well,
I can prove you're wrong.
In a way, yeah, like it's kind of a touchy subject, but for me personally,
we're not going to progress as a society.
I think in a way, like, yeah, it sucks. Everyone should have religious freedoms.
You should be the right to have...
But you're allowed to believe what you want, but you shouldn't be allowed to try and convince other people to believe that, unless you have something to back it up. Like, that's the thing. Well, I mean, I guess you should be allowed to try.
Well, unless you have the thing is, proof like germs kill.
More people I think, in my opinion, need to care more about evidence. People don't care enough about evidence, and people care a lot about belief. And I just personally... I don't think that blind faith is necessarily a good thing. I mean, if it works for you, fine, whatever. I'm not going to hurt you. But if your religion harms someone else, that is not okay.
No, that's bad. Like,
if your non-religion beliefs harm someone else, it's also not okay. I'm not trying to just single out religious people. If you're an atheist and you're like, well, since there's no God, I'm going to fucking just kill everything, that doesn't make sense, and you should not do it. Try and be civil to other people.
Respectful.
It'll make the world a better place.
But yeah, you can't just keep going on the way we are and expect, we're going to progress as a civilization with,
because maybe that's why we've never contacted aliens.
Well, even at that, I could agree that they wouldn't want to contact us just due to
in terms of maybe there aren't aliens because they get to the stage we're at and they kill themselves.
Very possible. Because they can't get along. Everybody's different, but we're still a human race.
One accidental nuke. Oh shit, now the entire world is destroyed. For humans. Humans.
We can't go to this part of the planet anymore for the next 20,000 years.
Yeah, like there will be one family who's been living in a bunker, and they're like, oh, good thing we're still safe. But now we're going to have to inbreed our way out of this one.
My favorite was actually Vsauce when they talked about that topic. Would you want to survive a nuclear holocaust? Because now, you got cancer and radiation written down via dust. and all that.
That's the thing. You wouldn't ever see the light of day again.
No.
You would have to live underground. Like, it would be like Fallout, where it's like
You'd have
hundreds
to
of
be
years
tunnels
of
underground.
generations living underground would have to go on, and then eventually they would go. People would be able to go back out, and there would still be places that are extremely
You
irradiated.
can't go out to the fallout zones and all that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's as good a place of any to call her an episode.
Sounds good.
Good time chatting with you. Thanks for coming on again.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, if you want, people, if anybody wants to ask you any questions or anything, is there anywhere that you want people to get a hold of you at or anything?
Just Stephen Rowe on Facebook.
Cool. Yeah, for me, my Facebook is actually, yeah, you can just go on Cody McLean on Facebook. Also, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat is at Winter Trooper. And yeah, if you want to get a hold of the show, like if you want to suggest any topics for things for us to talk about, or if you want to ask us a question about anything, just shoot us either an email. The email will be down here. It's, here, let me make sure. What we talking about today at gmail.com. You can tweet at us using hashtag WAWTApod, or just tweet at either me or the show at What We Talkin'. We also have an Instagram page at that same account, or same, right, at What We Talkin'. And yeah, so whatever, if you want, you can like us on Facebook, What Are We Talking About, and follow us there. If you're listening on SoundCloud or iTunes, thanks for listening. If you're watching this on YouTube, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, feel free to click like, whatever. If you didn't like it, let us know. It don't matter. Most importantly, if you have any basically opinions on any of these subjects, we want to know about it. Like, I'd like to have a conversation with you guys as well. So just throw anything that you thought about any of the subjects we talked about in the comments, whether it's on YouTube, SoundCloud, or you could even do a review, I think, or you could just tweet at us at What We Talkin'. And yeah, let's join the conversation. And until next time,
Take care.
and never stop the rock.